I'll be fully focused, but I will like share your video too and like the live stream or whatever,
Live
and we can get some
stream.
views. It's gonna be chilling.
Yep, we gotta chill, bro. Gotta chill. Okay, this is public, and we are good, guys. We are good. We are live. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another session of TikTok, and we have our special guest. His name is around YouTube. He's growing as fast as rate as the Flash, and his name is.
Yo, it's Ikid Mel. How's everybody doing? Thanks for having me on. Having a nice Saturday. We were just talking about different stuff, different little topics. So thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna
That's
share your stream too.
it's
You share
cool,
your
man.
stream on Twitter.
Share as much times as you like. Share it over 1,000 times, and you're more than likely to use it.
All
Even
right,
even some
cool,
of my
man.
content, anything you like to use, you can just grab clip out of it and just use it in your channel if you ever feel like it.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
And also, we're gonna be talking about technical issues on this channel today. As of today, that's mainly the topic today. Technical issues or any. If we have enough time, we're gonna go to another segment, but which we don't know if we're gonna have time. But we're gonna go ahead and start off with BSOD. Do you know what BSOD is?
Yeah, man. BSOD is like one of the classic problems that computers uh that doesn't happen on Apple, right? It's just a Windows thing, right? I guess.
Yes, it's only a Windows thing. Apple
Yeah.
has its other type of issues, but I don't know what kind of issues it really mainly has because I know they can actually restart your computer, but I'm not too familiar with the Mac yet.
Okay. So BSOD is like it means blue screen of death. It's a very like popular common issue that a lot of people have. I don't know if Windows 10 really gets that issue anymore though, but maybe you can clarify that. But I believe it's usually a hardware issue, isn't it?
It
Some sort
is.
of
It is a
yeah.
hardware issue, and it does occur in Windows 10, but not as frequent. There's a
Okay.
depending issue. There's a thing also that depends on it as well. Depending if it's a driver issue, depending on certain issues that you're having. I can't vouch for every single thing because I don't really know too much of Windows 10. But I know there's a blue screen of death in Windows 10, and it has happened to me, and that's why my computer doesn't turn on.
Oh, the other one?
Yeah, that one I started getting
Mm.
blue screen of death, and then it just the hard drive failed. So it and I have also BSOD screen a viewer. It gives me the blue screen of death error code, and it actually pulls. It tells you what each line means and something like that, and then it tells you pretty much what's wrong with it.
Yeah, I've had blue screen of death a couple times, and the way I resolved it is like you said, like I would usually get my phone and I would take a picture of the error. Like it'll usually give you a string. What happens sometimes too, your computer might just restart. I think there's an option. I don't know if in the BIOS, there's an option somewhere where like it stops it from just restarting, so you can actually see what the issue is. Um, or if you can't do that and it restarts, if you don't know how to do that, start up the computer again, get the blue screen of death again, and just quickly take a snapshot, and then you can go and look up the error code or whatever. And usually it'll kind of give you an idea of what's wrong. Um, Sometimes it's like some sort of hardware conflict, or I don't know if I wonder if drivers can kind of cause the issue too. I'm not sure.
Yes, it does.
Usually some sort of issue resolved it sometimes. Is like unplugging something one by one. If you think it's a DVD, if you think it's like the hard drive, unplug the hard drive. Maybe try a different hard drive. Um, Unplug different bits of hardware from your computer and one by one. It's called what is that called? I forgot. Troubleshooting. That's what troubleshooting is, pretty much. Kind of taking one thing out and trying another thing and seeing what actually is the issue. Sometimes it could be a video card, anything. So
There was one time in one of my since I've been doing technology for about 12 years. What I'd seen, I had a Dell certified technician come out, and because I couldn't figure out the issue, so I had to just dispatch a Dell technician to replace the motherboard. It was still blue screening, and he also replaced the hard drive. It was still blue screening. He replaced the
damn.
screen, still blue screening. Replaced the wire. He replaced every single component, and it was still blue screening. He could not figure it out. So when he got to the last part, what was it? It was the think the AC adapter or
Oh,
an extra like a adapter that it had nothing to do with the blue screen. It was a whole different error code, a whole different everything. Reinstalled Windows, everything. It was just keeps erroring out, and it was due to that that part that had nothing to do with it. It was something so epic,
uh,
like some out of the ordinary. It's you just gotta expect the unexpected too in technology. Don't ever go in there thinking that you know it all because sometimes you don't.
that's true, man. You know, that kind of reminded me of a story too. One time when I used to be really into computers, I'm into it now, but I'm not as I was back then when I was spending money and buying all this different stuff. But one time, uh, like the computer started to like, I don't remember, I don't think it was making beeping sounds. It just kept shutting down. It was overheating. Something was overheating. And I thought at first it was like the processor or whatever, and it wasn't the processor. And I just one day decided to take a look around because I think I smelled like something kind of burning, and I checked the power supply, and the fan was dead, bro. So the
Dude,
computer was turning on, and the whole thing was heating up. It wasn't cooling down, and I was like, "What?" Like, that was like the first time that ever happened to me. I wouldn't expect that, and that was causing like that whole little like power unit to like overheat and fail or whatever. So I had to order a new one. It was just like, damn, bro.
that is epic.
I even had, well, I think we talked about last time too. Like I've had it before where the paste dries out on the processor, and you have to take off the processor, put in the paste, a thin layer of the paste, put it back on.
Since you
Um,
bring that up, what type of thermal paste did you use?
I haven't had to use thermal paste in so long, but you know the popular brand I think we talked about last time too is Arctic Silver.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of other brands. I don't think it matters. I mean, maybe you know, I don't think it matters. You can buy whatever. I believe.
The only thing on the Arctic Silver, it has like I forgot what it's called internal in on the components, so it has better conductivity on it. But
Mm,
that's the only reason that they a lot of Arctic Silver is the best one because of the compound that it contains. But if you use any other one, it does the same purpose, but at a different like temperatures. You know, Arctic Silver is made for high intense heat temperatures because if you run out of
mm.
if you run out of thermal paste, your temperature could actually on your PC could actually go up to three thousand over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn, really?
Yes, if you look it up, you could actually find that processors can hit that peak.
Maybe in that case, it is worth buying something a couple dollars extra, because I remember I bought Arctic Silver, but then I also bought like the other brands, and I remember one time like having to do it multiple times. You know, with this computer, I haven't had to do it once, but I have an Intel computer. The Intels tend to run a little bit warmer.
Yeah,
The
because of the
AMDs are cheaper. You can
yes.
get a lot more bang for your buck. You get a lot faster, but they run a little bit hotter though. So,
I
but that was
use
back in the day. AMD might have come up a long way now too. Maybe they don't overheat as much as they used to back in the day.
I don't think so anymore. Like everything's running. The I it's for the like it doesn't stand for that, but I know it stands. It's an Intel processor, whatever it is. But it's an intelligent processor because I went for the preview we were talking about it for a meeting that I had. They're much smarter and than what they used to. You could get like they're just all it is just for load balancing and stuff like that, so it won't overheat the processors. That's all it's doing for the new ones.
Mm.
So that's what the new. Yo, Jennifer. Jennifer's in here. I haven't seen her
Hey,
in
what's
freaking
up? How you
forever.
doing, Alfred?
It's her first time in my live stream today.
Oh, really?
In it, but she's actually my as a guest. There you go,
Nice.
Jennifer. You shout out. Um,
Oh, is she the YouTuber that you spoke
yeah,
about? Oh, okay, 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 okay. Cool.
yeah. She's an epic YouTuber. She does daily vlogs and stuff like that. So if anyone who wants to check her out, go and check her out. She's really she's channel's really growing, really growing, bro. Um, where were we at? But
About the cooling and the Intel thing or
oh yeah,
whatever.
yeah. The AMD's don't have that smartness, but they are
Mm,
starting to come out with that type of style.
okay.
They are starting to come up. They are catching up to the Intel processors. They just have more. I think they have more features than the Intel processor because my brother was telling me something about that, and I really didn't understand it because I really haven't been in technology in like about a year and a half or
Yeah,
something like that.
I'm out And technology moves like so fast, man. It's always something new around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been out of it for at least a year and a half. So I think that has kind of like changed up on me a lot.
Damn.
So I stayed behind. So I think you're probably a couple of more years behind, or maybe we
Yeah.
might be
Oh
at the
yeah.
same.
No, no, probably a couple years.
Bro, I still thought, the other day I went to when I went to what was that thing called, Microsoft Store, and I thought we were barely going to the i6 processor, i5. Not i5,
Mm.
the sixth gen processor. I thought
Yeah, where's it at now?
we're the eighth gen.
Damn. The processor that oh, I'm thinking of the iPhone because the iPhone uses ARM, I think. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
ARM promises
the
laptop,
newest
but
processor is it's still the Intel 3, i3, i5, and i7, but it's the eighth generation. So it's 8 times smarter than what it was when they first came out.
uh,
That's freaking epic, bro.
oh,
I
they
was
use
like,
the Vortex A12 Vortex.
so they have a lot more throughput and have more stuff like that. So that's all they really don't change much. It's just the speed on it. I think the bus speed
Mm.
and some stuff like that, because we're moving to the 10 gigahertz uh, data rate with remember I think we talked about it last time, the C adapter,
Yeah, yeah.
the
For
C charging.
USB.
Yeah, the USB
Yeah,
C.
yeah.
So processors and everything have to update to that, and the 4K. So everything's updating to that style. So the processors actually have to change for the new
Mm.
3D, all that stuff that's coming out.
Damn.
So there's more to it, bro, than just like people think like, oh, it's an i7, processor, just get whatever you want. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to make sure you get like a new standard. If you're gonna do 4K, you have to get a new processor. You can't use an i4 processor on a 3D or 4K. You can't.
That's true.
You
I
know.
have a I have an i7 right now on my computer. That's the only thing good about my computer. Well, that and the RAM, but I have a really, really bad video card. Horrible video card. And the power supply is really low too. So that kind of sucks because if I wanted to get like a really nice video card, I'd have to get like a nice power supply or decent power supply first because I wouldn't be able to power the video card.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. Because like same thing with mine. My desktop's actually giving out. It's making some weird sounds already.
The desktop.
Yeah, my desktop, the one I
Why?
use for.
Why do you use the desktop? I'm kind of curious because I know you have the Apple now, and it's a lot faster. It's brand new, but
the
why do you still
For that,
use it?
the reason I use my let me mute that. The reason I use my Windows PC and my desktop is because I use it for video editing, not video editing, picture editing, and some
Mm.
other stuff that I use for basic searching for the internet and stuff like that. Because I don't have Photoshop on my computer, so I have it on my desktop, and I don't want to install it on my Mac. I don't want to overfill it and
Uh,
use third party applications. So I'm trying to keep my
mm.
Mac more freedom to video editing and not to overload it. That's the point of it for me. I'm thinking about getting another Mac just for video editing and basic stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about it.
Does your Mac have a SSD on there?
It is an SSD on it. It's a 512,
Okay.
500, 500 or 512 or something like that.
Because I was wondering too. Kind of just thinking like YouTubers and stuff, and YouTubers and video editing, and they don't have the best computers. I always kind of wondered like what's more important, like to have like a powerful video card, or is it better to have like a processor that's decent, and if you can get an SSD, because I hear like SSD makes editing a lot easier.
It is the reason for the SSD. It's better because it pulls the data faster. But you can't have
Mm.
just an SSD and expect it to run as fast if you don't have your throughput on your motherboard or your RAM or your CPU to actually match the data speed.
So do you need a good video card to have fast editing, or is it more on like
You
the CPU and the hard drive?
video edit If you're gonna do intense video editing, a high quality, you need a better video card. But also on top
Mm.
of that, you still need your CPU, your motherboard, and your RAM to run at a certain
Mm.
at a bus speed. Because if your computer, what I was always taught that, hold on, my brother just messaged, most high-end
Yeah.
PCs builds don't require as much power as people think. There it is. There's his question. There's his response. I don't know if you heard that, Mel.
No.
It says most high-end PC builds don't
Uh-huh.
require as much power as people think.
Oh, okay.
And it really doesn't, but you just need to make sure you just run your speeds correctly. You don't need a high
Okay.
end. You don't need a high end power and stuff like that. You just need to make sure everything internally matches. That's what my brother. I always explain to my brother, make sure everything matches the frequencies. You cannot have a 3000 bus speed processor with only a 3000 bus speed processor, but with only a 1300 bus power RAM. You have to make sure it
Mm.
matches because if not, your CPU degrades to the bus speed off your slowest device. That I do know because that's the one that we talked about in class in college. Your computer runs as slow as your newest
Oh, I didn't
device.
see. That's your cousin in the chat. I'm sorry.
My brother.
Spooky. Oh, your brother. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. You say most high end PCs. Yeah, that's what you. Oh, okay. My bad. I was looking away from the screen. That's interesting. What is the better computer, man, for like doing YouTube video editing? I guess. I mean, since you've had both platforms. I've never really been on Apple, so I wouldn't know.
I think more it's towards Mac, in my opinion, but my brother would probably say otherwise because he
'Cause I hear
uses
Mac's really good for editing.
it
Like,
is, but not for gaming.
oh, that's
Gaming,
true. Yeah, I think I heard that too. For gaming, it's not as good.
yeah. If you want gaming, you might as well just go with a Windows PC. That's the best solution because he's a gamer and he actually it's the best. He suggests always get a PC.
How much money do you need for like, and maybe your brother could speak on this. Like, what do you like if let's say somebody they need a computer, they have a really crappy computer, man, and they want to do. All right, let's ask both questions. Let's see here. They have a really crappy computer, and they want what do they need to do to have like decent editing, just video editing, and then what do you need to have for like gaming? Like as far as like how much money? Like do people have to spend like $1,000 or like will 400 $500 get you a decent computer? You know, I've heard too. I was kind of looking online one day, and like sometimes people go to pawn shops, man.
Yeah,
They say sometimes they get deals there. If you have somebody that knows what they're doing and they can like inspect the computer before buying it, I hear sometimes you can maybe get like even YouTube equipment and stuff. I heard people just pop it into the pawn shop, man.
dude, bro, I almost bought a GoPro for $80.
Damn.
A Hero 5 for $80. Bro, I was like freaking out with that, bro. I was
Wow.
like,
That's really good.
I didn't have the $50. I didn't have the $80 to buy the GoPro, but the GoPro is actually a $200 GoPro. And it's the Hero AC 8, Hero something.
Oh, wow.
My brother just messaged for gaming around $800 to 1,000 should be fine. In terms of editing, I'd say
Uh,
15.
damn, bro.
He gave me a minimum for at least 1,000.
Okay.
Minimum for editing and gaming.
Yeah, on my computer, I spent, well, not thinking about the extra stuff that I got for it, just the tower itself, I spent like 500. And it does okay with editing, but it's not smooth. Once I start putting on different layers, especially like when you're doing the green screen, so and I'm recording other things, so I have the video that records me, and then I have the green screen in the background, and then I put other layers of video on top of it. Once you start putting different layers and different audio, the computer starts to lag, man, and you start getting like skipping here and there, and it makes it kind of hard to do a good quality video.
Oh, there he said
So
again.
he's probably right.
When I say in terms of editing, I mean like really heavy stuff. Like almost he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
talking like 4K resolution stuff
Okay. Yeah,
or
yeah.
like a lot of heavy stuff you're trying to do on your computer.
Okay.
Normal editing is
Yeah,
fine,
that
but for
1500 probably so you can have like smooth editing, heavier editing, not heavy, like not issues or something. Because yeah, I run into issues all the time. Even today when I was doing a little video that was really basic, I was getting a little bit of lag and stuff. I think what kind of saves me is the processor and the RAM. But the thing is, I have such a crappy video card. And like you were saying earlier, you kind of need to have like a balance at least with the stuff on there. You might have one really good thing and everything else sucks, and it's still gonna struggle. It seems like.
Yeah, and you can't. And you just. And how old is your computer?
My computer is like maybe 2 years old or something like that. I actually bought it refurbished on Amazon.
Is it
And,
customizable?
that's the thing, bro. I wasn't thinking at the time, and I brought like this. It's a Dell. It's a Dell. So you know how those companies do, man. They purposely make certain sizes of things. They purposely make it harder for you to be able to kind of change pieces. They come with like special cords that's like harder, and you only have to go through their manufacturer so they can kind of keep making money. So at the time, I kind of wasn't thinking, and I just really needed a computer to do YouTube. And I've built computers before, and I probably would have been able to. I would have been if I would have built my computer, I probably would have saved money. I probably could have got a decent system, $500-600 maybe if I would have built my own thing. But I just didn't have the time, with the family and the baby just came, the baby was born. So I just went and bought a computer, man, around $500. It's pretty good. Like I can't complain. The computer's held me down, but the problem is now with upgrading. Like if the CPU, not the CPU, the power supply, it's like the special size. So like I was gonna take the power supply from my other computer because it's a little bit more powerful, and I went to put it in here, but then the cords don't plug into the motherboard because it's a little bit different. It's a Dell motherboard. They have like a special connection, so now you have to go and buy the special Dell power supply. But the Dell power supplies, for some reason, for this computer aren't strong. They're all kind of weak. So I kind of got screwed like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes too, when you go to make a computer purchase, man, like if you don't know too much about computers, sometimes it's kind of good to reach out to somebody that maybe knows or somebody that's gone through it because they can kind of maybe save you money and share some of their experiences.
Yeah, definitely true. And my brother just commented actually. The problem for most people nowadays is your GPU prices because of the cryptocurrency being such a big
Mm,
thing.
that's a great point that he made, and I've heard a lot of people mention that cryptocurrency is a big thing, dude. And like that cryptocurrency, there's people here and people in other countries that they just have like these rooms, man, full of computers, and they're like data mining, and they're buying all these GPUs, buying all these heavy equipment to the point where like there's none left. The manufacturer can't even make them, or it drives the prices up or whatever. Um, and like you need supercomputers to run them, man.
Yeah, give me a moment.
So those GPUs are expensive. Okay, those GPUs they're really expensive, man. Let me take a look right now on Amazon. Let's see how much we can see some of the prices here. Card. What's RJ's brother that's watching? What's one of the popular ones? The graphics card. Fix card. Let's see. Okay, we got the Radeon RX 580. That's probably not a well. Seems kind of 39. The GeForce GTX 1050. I think I heard of that one. That one's kind of popular.
GX 1080 and the 1070. I forgot what mine was. I think mine's a 560.
Okay, GTX 1080 or 1070. The 1080, right? Oh no, that's a 1050. So let me Google that. Graphics card GTX 1080. Let's just give a price for the people because I'm kind of curious. Damn, bro, that thing is worth more than my computer.
What's the price on that sucker?
Worth more than my entire computer, bro.
What are we looking at here?
I'm looking at all right, the GeForce GTX 1080, 8 gigs. The first price here is 595. They have another one, 589, 629, 599, 734, 846. Bro, that thing is worth like a whole computer, dude.
$600,
Oh, yeah, around $600.
bro. You better have a like 32 gigs or 128 gigs on your on your computer, man. You better
It's
max
insane,
out.
man.
If you're gonna pay $600 for this thing, just might as well max out your computer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hardcore, man. But I guess that's like top of the line. They have this other one, Zotac GeForce GTX 1080 Ti Amp Extreme 11 gigs, 799. So,
Oh, but don't forget,
yeah.
just because you get a graphics card, a high end graphics card, you gotta make sure also you have a high end screen as well. Your screen makes a difference to your output, your frame rate.
That's true.
Damn, that's freaking crazy, bro. I didn't
Yeah, I
even.
think if anybody's gonna buy a computer, man, definitely talk to somebody. Because like if you go on Amazon, you just type in computers, there's like so much stuff that pops up, and there's a lot of crap that pops up too. It's kind of really hard to like distinguish what you should get, what's good, what's not good. Um, I see here CyberPower PC 719. That's a good computer, but I even what's his name Pizless had problems with that computer, some sort of issue or something.
I think what's wrong with Pizzle's computer, it might be having an infection on it, and he just doesn't want to admit it. I asked him to run antivirus. He's like, nah, it's good. I just got in. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
infected. I was like, but the thing is, as long as you're plugged into the internet, you're
Oh
downloading
yeah.
your information is downloading constantly. It's a 24/7 cycle. It talks to the outside world, comes back with information. It's just downloading information with regardless if you're on it or not. So he should I would recommend him do it, but he didn't. I don't guess he didn't want to. So my brother just
Damn.
commented again. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. He says, even mine, which I got a few years ago, is still worth like $200-300. Damn. I guess the video card he's talking about.
Yeah. So when you invest, you got to make sure you invest something that's now and what's gonna last you the next into the future. That's what I bought.
Yeah.
That's why I bought the Mac. When I bought the Mac, I bought for the next
Oh yeah, you're
6
good
years.
now. You're good for a long time. Did that come with like a warranty or anything too, or
There's a thing on the warranty on that. The Mac
Mhm.
doesn't tell anybody. You paid $300 warranty. You're only allowed to fix
Damn.
actual hardware 3 times. Three hardware
Damn. So the
failures.
warranty is $300?
$300, but
Woo.
you gotta pay. You only get 3 hardware failures,
Wow.
but you still gotta come up with $100 to fix it.
Wow, dude.
So there's a catch on that. So that's a little thing for the audience. Y'all could know that there's still stuff behind the Mac.
So do you think people should get that warranty anyway though, or
I think it should if you accidentally break the screen and stuff like
yeah, 'cause
that.
it covers everything, I
It
guess?
covers everything, even water damage. But
Mm.
if they tell you, then it's count as one. If it's something minor, software reinstall, something basic, it's free pretty much.
Okay.
But everything else is actually out of that warranty. So it's 3 years. 3 years, and I think it's 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, 3 or 4 years, something like that. And then you get everything else. You get free parts and everything, but you have to send it in. And if they can't fix it, they replace your Mac right there
Your
on the
brother
spot.
said I still think you spent way too much on that Mac. Oh, MAO.
It's true, I did. It's kind of stupid, but it's kind of an investment because I do more
Yeah.
editing
I
faster.
mean, what's done is done. But yeah, at least well now you have like a high quality product, and you did get the warranty, I guess. So I
Yes,
guess
I
you're
did.
good. Um,
And also, I'm gonna go spend $1,000 on a customized PC that my brother
oh
recommended.
boy, oh
But
boy.
I'm gonna be able to upgrade my GPU, every single thing on it, to max it out later. So it's
Oh,
so
well, that's the thing too. That's something to maybe even talk about. It's better to, like you said, maybe your brother can comment on this too. It's probably better to buy some sort of customizable computer, man.
yeah.
Because dude, like with my computer, it was kind of a quick decision, and I needed it, and I'm glad about it. But financially, it's so much easier if you get yourself a PC that's customizable, because then at least, hey, I could just spend 100, 200, $300 and upgrade this thing, and then months down the line when I'm ready to do it again, I can make a decision, like an informed decision, and do this upgrade now. But when you get these like Dell computers, these name brand computers, a lot of people not thinking, or maybe people don't know about computers, or for whatever reason, you're really locking yourself in, man, and you're actually causing yourself
More.
future costs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Mac. Yeah, it's a future cost, and will always be there. It's a lot more because you can't replace parts if it fails. You have to take it into repairs.
Mm.
So on
You can't just
Windows,
open it up, huh?
you can't just open a Mac up and just fix it.
Damn.
So
See,
it's
that's what I like
soldered.
about Windows too. Is like I can kind of open my Windows seems like it has a lot more problems, but I like that I can kind of open it up and do what I need to do
Upgrade
and
it whenever you want. Upgrade
upgrade it.
processors in the years to come.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't really upgrade mine, I guess. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna check out my
Look at your
I'm gonna
board
see what.
and see if it's
Yeah.
actually if the slots are actually the same the same as your as the upgrade for a motherboard. See if it's possible.
Yeah, like the first thing I think I would have to upgrade is the power supply in order for me like to get a video card. The problem with my computer too is like I need a SSD, but I don't think mine has a SSD like port. I don't know if there's any kind of, can I plug it into like a PCI Express connection? I don't know how the SSD stuff works really.
You have
I don't
it's
know.
if it's gonna be a regular if it's gonna be a regular SSD, you'll plug into a regular SATA cable, and that's
Oh,
it.
I can do SATA. Oh, okay.
But if you're
Where's the
talking
thing?
about the onboard SSD, you gotta get a whole new board.
So I can do SATA though.
You
I can
can.
do SATA, and it'll be fast.
You just need to upgrade the board if you're gonna do the
Well, my
SSD
board does
onboard.
have SATA though,
Yeah,
so
no,
it should work with
that's
that.
fine. But talking about the onboard, the I forgot what my brother had said. It's an SSD that you slap on it. You slap into a
Oh,
slot, and it's like a flat
oh yeah, I don't
motherboard.
have that. Yeah, I don't have that.
So
That's the problem with this computer too. It's like they make it really hard to try to upgrade.
see if you could actually upgrade to a new board and a new processor, but the processor is going to cost you like $300. The motherboard might cost you like 60, 70, $80 or
Hmm.
100 something dollars. I'm not too sure. Hey, it's Pizzles in the house. What's
Oh
up, guy?
snap!
Out to
Maybe you
eat.
can
Sorry.
join the conversation if you want. I don't know if he's busy,
He
or
says
he said he
out.
was going out somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
he's out to eat. Sorry, I miss you guys.
Okay,
But if he joins
it's all
in,
good,
he
bro.
jumps in. He's more than welcome to. Oh, did you see my brother's
Um,
message?
yeah, I was trying to be your voice of reason before you got it. It's true that it's easier to deal with because parts are interchangeable. Yeah. Isles, what's up, bro? It's all good. Are you back? If you want to join us, you can. We're just talking. Like, I'm looking right now for the power supplies for my computer, and like the highest they have on Amazon is 240 watts, which sucks, bro. That's not. I need something stronger than that. I don't know. And they're like 30, $40. That really sucks. I don't know. Might have to Google it and see maybe in the future and see if I can. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even be worth upgrading this computer. I think that I should probably wait till it's slowly my own customizable computer, uh, you know, and so I can upgrade and change things out whenever. Because the tower that I have now, it's not even a full tower. It's like a mid size kind of.
What? You got one of those
Yeah.
mid?
So
Oh man, you need a
yeah,
like
bro.
a big monster, bro. You need like a
Yeah.
server.
I actually have one in my room, but I don't know how. I kind of want to get a new one. I don't want to use the old full tower.
Oh my! You can find it. Actually, start buying. You can do what I'm gonna do. I told my brother I was gonna buy each part separately, so it won't cost me $1,000 just out of pocket, just like that. Start buying every single thing slowly.
Yeah, that's what my friend. One of my friends did that too. He built a pretty nice computer, and he just slowly started buying things. I think like once I move and once we settle and everything's kind of chill and stuff, that's probably what I'll eventually start doing. Is I'll start with the tower, buy a nice little tower, then a power supply or a motherboard, and slowly build on from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll send you some stuff that my brother recommends you. Maybe he could
Okay.
actually recommend something to you because I don't know how intense of a quality you do compared to me or
Yeah,
how much
I do
editing.
1080. I do 1080, but then the thing is, I start a lot of times I do a couple layers of different videos on top of each other. So when you start to play it and edit it with all these different layers, it just for me it causes like starts to create lag and stuff.
True. My brother just said, that's where is it? Truthfully, you can't just stick
Yeah.
any power supply into an older pre-built PC. That's the
Uh
part you need to be safe with.
yeah, that's true. You could probably like shock the hell. You can over like super surcharge or whatever with electricity. That's why I tried to do it with the other power supply and that was like a bad idea. I couldn't even connect. And then seeing what your brother's saying, it's true. It's better just for me to start brand new with a new tower, new motherboard when I have the chance and like build it up. These pre-built computers and name brand stuff, that's actually what kind of restricts you and keeps the company making money, which is kind of smart on for them, I guess. So
Yeah, feel free to always let me know, and I'll ask my brother some stuff for you if you ever need any advice on that.
okay.
That's something that he's very
Oh,
willing
there's one
to
here.
grant.
It says 400 watts upgrade for Dell Slim. Might have to look into it, but yeah, I don't think it's worth even upgrading this computer, putting money into this restricted small tower or whatever with the restricted motherboard and everything else that's restricted on it. It's not even worth it, dude.
Yeah, you want something that's gonna be big.
Yeah.
But once you get that bigger, don't here's the thing is that those solid state drives that are on board, they're expensive, bro.
The what?
The solid state drives that are like motherboards
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
chips, they're freaking expensive. They're like crazy prices. They're like almost like $500 and stuff like that.
Damn.
So I was thinking about buying one and slapping in like a 250 as the main one or 500 on a big one instead of a terabyte and spend the money for it. You know, I'd rather get a 500 SSD and then put like a terabyte or a 3 terabyte as my secondary drive.
You know, somebody was kind of telling me too, like when you use the SSD, that you should just use that as your main thing, just for like editing, and then
Yeah,
like try to keep everything else on the regular hard drive.
yeah.
Just have the editing software, like whatever, just on the SSD. I don't know if that's true or whatever. Just to keep that hard drive clean and just move everything else to the regular hard drive.
Exactly, and it prevent if you get the SSDs, man, it prevents you from like a lot of the grinding sounds. If you drop it, it's not gonna turn off on you. You know,
Mm.
you're not gonna have a moving part that's gonna fail on you. That's one less thing.
Oh, another thing, because I'm kind of thinking back to that little plan. Not the plan. What am I thinking of? The picture you sent me with the topics for the other stream. And I was thinking about, we didn't talk about this, the beeps. I used to get that a lot.
Oh yeah,
When
yeah,
you start the computer, just dee 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 dee. Um, you want to talk about that a little bit?
yeah. Usually 3 or 4 beeps is usually the memory, and you just reseat it and it works.
Right. Let me read here what this says here. Desktop beeping fix. Beep codes are used by the BIOS during the post to report certain initial system errors. If you're hearing beep codes after you turn your computer on, it typically means the system has encountered some kind of problem before it was able to display any kind of error information on the monitor. So yeah, like RJ was saying, and I think you have to look up. I think for different computers and different like
Models.
motherboards, it's like different, like one or two beeps. There's like it goes in some sort of sequence, and I guess you have to look up your manufacturer or whatever to find out exactly what the beeps mean. I think in the past for me, like at one time I had like a RAM that went bad, like bad memory, and I think that caused beeping one time.
It does. That's a standard one. That's a 4 beat.
Okay,
It's a four
and
beat and then stop and then 4 beats and stops and it I think 3 times 3 sets of four, if I'm correct. That's a standard one. And there's like a different one for there's one for CPU error, there's one for GPU, there's one for hard drive, there's one for uh, post before it even loads to ROM. ROM is the thing that loads your everything, your all your settings. You know, all your computer turns on, all your basic stuff. You know, components and stuff like that. So that's where all your settings, everything on your computer is run off of. Your GPU,
mm,
CPUs, everything.
yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I'm a very technology guy, but comes to gaming, it's a whole different language, bro. It's even further.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, I don't. Like I was talking to a buddy of mine. We had a couple conversations, and like this guy back in the day, years ago, he used to ask me for all this advice with computers, everything, and I would always tell him all this kind of stuff. Now it's changed because he's like a gamer and he games on PC. Now he's telling me things that I don't know about. I'm like, what the heck, yo? Like, what are you even talking about? I don't even know what he's talking about half of the time with some of the
Yeah,
computer hardware and stuff.
yeah. But it's good to have those people
Yeah, it is.
because they teach you a lot more stuff that you didn't know about your computer. Now, which is we're
Hmm.
doing YouTube and stuff like that. Now we need that information.
Yeah.
It's freaking crazy, bro. How everything revolves. You're the teacher and then you become the student.
Yep. I was like, damn, bro, I'm so out of date. Um, I was looking
Depending,
at these different.
my
Go ahead.
brother's commented, depending on the manufacturer, the beeps can mean a large amount of things. In which case,
Mm,
you can refer to your motherboard manual. True,
true. Yeah, good point.
very very true. But the only bad things about custom boards is that you have to make sure you remember what what hardware you put in, because when you reinstall that sucker, woohoo! I feel sorry for you, bro.
Oh yeah, that's happening before. Like I've upgraded, not really thinking I've upgraded the operating system, and come to start up, and you're like, holy crap! Like you don't have the drivers for a lot of stuff. You know what killed me one time? When I actually bought this computer, the pre-built one, I bought it, and all right, I'm setting it up. A bunch of drivers are missing. Didn't have any updates. It was kind of like in a crappy condition. By the way, what's up, Kenneth? Kenneth, the Kentucky family says hello. Um, so I turn it on. It has all these like problems. Actually, the video card that it came with didn't even work. I had to take out the video card and plug it into the onboard video card. And when I finally got it to boot, um, so I didn't have any Ethernet. I didn't have any Ethernet drivers. So when the hell do you start up a computer and the Ethernet doesn't work? I was like, what the heck? So then I couldn't even connect to the internet to get the drivers. So I'm like, what? So what I ended up doing, because what happened was, yeah, I could have gone to my other computer, but my other computer had stopped working. So I couldn't even go to that computer to go online and download the drivers to move it back. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Luckily, I had this wireless USB network thing, the adapter. I plugged that in, and that didn't have the drivers, man. So then I had to like go onto my phone, download the drivers to my phone, connect the phone to the computer. Luckily, the USB picked up on it, move the drivers onto there, and then install everything. I was just like, oh my God, yo. This computer was in bad shape when I first got it. I had to figure all that out. And I was just thinking, like, damn, if somebody would have got this and didn't know what they were doing, they kind of would have been screwed. They wouldn't be able to do all this, you know?
They would have paid hundreds of dollars to a local IT
Yeah, yeah.
to fix it.
It's crazy, man.
Damn, man, man, you're epic, Mel. I love
Oh,
hearing your.
let me tell you guys one more story. Back in the day when I was like really into gaming and I was into computers, I bought this and I did something really stupid. I bought a water cooling system. You ever seen those,
Cooling
RJ?
system. I've
Yeah,
never,
water cooling system
I've
for.
never seen the water cooling system, but I've been wanting to
Dude,
look at it.
I bought this water cooling system for the computer. I set everything up. I like, the fluids or whatever. And it was dope. It kept the computer really cold. There was little water running through the system, but it's not just water. It was like some sort of mix. Maybe your brother knows. It was almost like an antifreeze. It was something. I forgot what the mix was, but it's not. If you put plain water in there, it's gonna mess up. And let me tell you what happened. So one day the water was like starting to run out. So I went and put in just regular water. I didn't read the instructions or whatever. You're supposed to put like a mix. You can make it yourself, but you're supposed to mix it up with something. I put in regular water. So when I did that, the water kind of started to dissolve. So one day I opened up the computer and I started to check it out. And I guess what happened was I opened up the computer because I smelled smoke. I was like, what the heck? So I opened up the computer and like the one of the cords that had the water in there was right above the video card. And I guess I didn't push it in tight enough or something. And the water started like dripping on the video card on the gold part. I was like, oh crap, yo. So um I shut it down. I think I wiped it. And did you have a custom loop for your cooler? I don't even know what that is, dude.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that
I
is.
don't even know what that is either, bro.
Um, the mistake I made, one was I didn't know what I was doing. I should have made sure everything was properly attached. And two, when you put in regular water, water starts to evaporate. So there's no point in putting in water. Your computer's gonna start to overheat. And I didn't put in that part. In other words, did you do it? Yeah, I did it myself, dude. I did it myself. um, I mean, like I ordered it. I actually ordered it from a company, but I ordered the product online. And then what happened was because I used water and I refilled it with water, the water started to evaporate. So I went and looked at it again at a point because I wiped it down and I thought everything was okay. I went to turn it back on, which was stupid. Uh, the thing lit on fire, bro.
What?
I wish I had like a picture or video. The video card like started to. It wasn't like a big fire, but it actually flamed up. So I freaked out, man. I was like, "Oh shit!" I grabbed the power plug. I just yanked the thing out of the back of the computer, and and then like I blew on it. It just went out, and I was like, "Oh my god, bro!" That was the first time and the only time I've ever had like a computer actually like light on fire, and I kind of freaked out. And I was like, "Damn, dude!"
I
And it
had
was a
a
really nice video card too.
I had a CPU blow up on me.
Damn, really? Like actually, like boom.
Yeah, the whole
Damn.
processor like just exploded on the back of it. It's kind of like shot. I don't know how that happened, bro. It just overheated, I guess, and just popped right in front of my, like right there. Like, boss. It was
Damn,
loud. It
dude.
wasn't just like a nice sound. It was like a pop.
Really? Yeah, you kind of have to know what you're doing. The thing with me is I like to experiment and stuff like that, but at the time I didn't do enough research, and I was really young, and I was just kind of having like whatever, and I thought I was like a badass, and I totally messed that up, dude. And I
Yeah.
think I messed up the computer too. Something I don't know. I must have leaked on the motherboard too. I don't know what I did, but he said the likelihood of something like that happening with modern coolers is very low. Yeah, it was a really, really long time ago. I don't remember. It was years ago I did it, and I ordered it from some company, and it came with like a kit. It was really old school, and it started to leak, and I couldn't even believe that shit, dude. I was like, damn.
I think the time that you did it is when the liquid cooling started coming out.
Yeah, it was really old. It was a long time ago. Like I got to be at least over like 10 years old. Like I was, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it sounds like
Uh,
that. It sounds like that was the issue there.
yeah. But that's a little thing there too, man. Don't if you don't know what you're doing, especially with the fluid that you're putting in there, better just to go buy the fluid. It's
Yep.
probably easy to make too. I was just being like ignorant, and I just put water in there, and I didn't think, yeah, water evaporates, bro. It's gonna start to evaporate. It'll last longer if you use that fluid that you put in. So
My brother
yeah, bro. I
messaged.
was freaking out. I was freaking out, bro. My mom was in the other room too. You'd have to roly screw that to have for that to happen nowadays. Okay, so yeah, they probably it's more modern now. They probably have a lot more secure stuff.
He explained to me too. Don't buy the cheapest liquid cooling stuff. Buy the little
Mm,
bit more of a pricey one because you're gonna get what you
okay.
pay for.
Yeah, the liquid cooling was actually really dope though. It does work. It does really keep your computer like really really cool and stuff. Because the thing is too, like back in the day when I was in my room was just really hot. It was the hottest room in the whole house. The AC wasn't really flowing too well in there, so it was just like always hot in there, man. And the other thing too is you got to know about your ventilation, especially if you build up a computer. There's like ways to like have the fans facing in certain directions, so like the air is actually flowing in and flowing out. If you don't know what you're doing, you could maybe have like fans pointing towards each other, or like it doesn't, you got to set up an actual flow for the air to come in and out to go efficiently.
Yeah, that's
I end up
definitely
just
true.
keeping all the heat inside.
Yeah, it's all about ventilations. The more stuff the more equipment you put in, and you need more of the cooling. You need more fans. You need more of this. You need more ventilations because if not, you'll just heat everything up inside. Even though you have cooling gel, it doesn't mean it's gonna stay cool. You gotta also have the
Mm.
cooling, the cooling system.
Yeah, I'm looking on right now on Google. They have a picture of the ideal airflow. It says front to back. So from the front of the computer, how you have the fans there. You want
Yep.
to intake the air, and it goes all the way to the back, and the back fans just push the air out. And then from the bottom, I guess there's a bottom fan or something. It's
Yeah.
going up and going out to the top. They have the fans on the top. I guess that's the ideal flow or whatever. But sometimes, people they might not know what they're doing or not paying attention. Sometimes those fans too, I mean, maybe now this day is different, but sometimes it's kind of hard to tell what direction the air is flowing. Sometimes you kind of have to plug it in, maybe turn it on and feel the fan and see which direction the air is going. So,
Yeah. Like the other day, I didn't realize this, bro. I just learned this from somebody that ceiling fans you could turn them. You could if you just like a little switch on the side, and it goes the opposite direction.
really, I didn't know that either.
There's like a little switch on top of it. That's the same thing with the process. The CPU fans, you flip them, you
Yeah,
flip it over on the other side, and you can screw it in like that, or you can flip it the other way, and you can flip it like that. It depends on the angle you put it in, whichever one you want. Too.
damn.
Not many people knew that. I just found that out the other day.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
But it's just something I just wanted to bring up there. Is like I don't want to say it. Every ceiling fan does it, but just look at the instruction manual or look it
I
up.
used to have back in the day too. I used to have this really dope, crazy looking sink for the CPU.
Yeah.
I wish I could show people the picture because maybe people watching don't know what I'm talking about. But like on top of the CPU, um, there's like a heat sink. A heat sink is like it's this metal piece that absorbs the heat and kind of keeps the heat going up. Looking heat sink, dude. If anybody watching, if you look later, you look up a heat sink. Like, let me see, big heat sinks,
I'm trying to pull it up right now.
big heat sink. Yeah, dude, they have some major, like, huge ones. I had a really big one, and it actually worked really well, but it took up so much space, man. Like, you have to have a full tower to have some of these heat sinks, man. Some of them are like huge, bro. There was one time actually, I couldn't even close the CPU thing. It was that big. The door for the side of the CPU, I couldn't even close it. It was that damn big, yo.
Is that like the one you're looking at? That you're talking about?
That one, yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, you know what? The one that you see in the top left on your screen, that's what I'm talking about. It has like that little piece with the copper pieces going to the side, and like this. Yes, 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 that one. I had something like that, and it was just huge, man. But it did a really good job of cooling the computer.
They do, and they get really hot. I've actually touched it
Yeah,
accidentally with my hand.
dude, yo, you can burn yourself on there. You know, another thing too is I cut myself a lot of times going inside a computer. They have a lot of sharp metal pieces that stick out. If you don't pay attention, you could easily slice your skin, man.
I've done it a lot of times, bro. I've actually my fingers are actually have like lines. All of them. I tore up my fingertips with just lines, and even my palm too.
Damn, dude.
It's very sharp. And like if you just slam it like that, you'll have your cuts.
Oh, you know another thing we should talk about. Let's see what your brother said. The main reason some people don't like fans is because they can get loud. Depending on the speed you have it set to. That's true. That's a good thing to mention. I think there's some apps you can download that kind of like maintain the fan speed automatically. I think your computer's supposed to do it, but there's like some other CPU apps that can kind of like help with the speeds and stuff.
You could also
Uh,
get on screen. There's an on screen. Sometimes your custom computers, you could actually put a screen on it, and you could actually control your CPU fans, your thermal, your cooling system. You could do everything from the front panel.
wow, I think I've seen that. That's sick. Yo, this is yo. Now that I'm thinking about, don't they have like a internal AC? I think I've heard of that one time for the for the computer. I don't even
Oh,
know if that's a thing anymore. I
bro.
remember back in the day they had freaking air conditioners for the inside of the computer, man. Internal AC for CP desktop. Let me see something. Let's check this out. I was actually gonna buy it. Yeah, they have it, dude. They have like internal like AC things for the inside of your computer. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that, bro.
I
But that
remember this has been out for a long time. Maybe your brother about. I don't know if he knows. Is it any good? Is it a waste of time? I never actually tried it out, but back in the day, this was a thing they were kind of pushing. I don't hear anybody talk about it anymore, but I kind of wanted to buy it because it seemed kind of cool.
I don't even know what you're looking at.
Internal. Let me see. Arctic Air. It's as seen on TV. Let me see. Internal air conditioners. Desktop. Yes. Internal. Oh no. Internal PC. Yeah, dude. They have these internal like AC things. Let me see. Or maybe I'm looking at the wrong stuff. I swear they had some sort of internal AC things back in the day.
He said he never heard of a thing about it. Haha.
No. Maybe I'm screwed up then. Thermoelectric air conditioner.
Never heard of
No.
it either.
Hmm. I'm
Maybe
gonna have
that's
to look at that.
maybe that's an invention you should make.
Nah, I thought I've heard of this before. I'm seeing some pictures, but I don't know if this is all like BS though.
That'd be freaking sick, bro.
Thermoelectric conditioner. There's something I'm looking at that looks like it. Thermoelectric air conditioners. But I don't know if this is for computers. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't even know if this is for computers. It looks like it's some sort of customizable thing. Anyway, though,
What was the topic you were gonna bring up before this came up?
dude, I freaking forgot. I was about to bring up something.
You have the biggest top idea right here.
I don't even remember. There was something good I was going to talk about. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot. It's not even on the tip of my tongue.
I wish I could have just played the Jeopardy song right now. It would have been a good thing. Like nee, 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 nee. Nee, 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 nee.
What were we talking about before? Before this whole thing, we were talking about
The air cooling systems.
before that though.
Um, processors and casings and the cooling gels and stuff like
Cutting
that.
yourself, yeah, and cutting yourself inside.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Have you ever heard of your internet being maxed out and the
Maxed
wireless?
out.
Yeah, your wireless connections at home being and then you getting kicked off or having problems at home. Have you ever heard of that?
I've never heard of maxed out, but I used to have like issues on the 2.4 gigahertz like wireless connections and even in, like wireless connections in the house. But once I switched to 5 gigahertz and like I got the router and the connections for it, it's so much better, dude. Like night and day. If you have a 5 gigahertz, I think it penetrates the walls better. You get a stronger signal, and there's a lot less congestion on the on that radio wave or whatever.
You still have a maximum of 15 clients that still connect to the wireless to the
Oh,
router.
it is it
Yeah,
15? That's it.
that's it.
Hmm.
But the more people you have on it, not many people know this. The more people you have on it, the slower it gets, regardless if you have the
Mm.
5 gigahertz.
Yeah, but the 5 gigahertz is just a lot faster too,
Yeah,
though.
it's just it's the rate.
The problem is too, though, is if you have an adapter that's only 2.4 and you have a router or whatever for 5, that device is going to be really slow regardless. You know, it's not going
Yeah,
to matter until you change that.
very true, bro. Very true. Yeah, that's the only thing is that many people don't realize that if they have more than 15 devices, that you'll start getting kicks. You can start getting kicked off the internet. You'll just be on it, and all of a sudden
Mm.
you'll get kicked off, and whoever's been on, it stays active. Even if you turn on, if the iPad is like, let's say if you have an iPad, right? Most people have iPads. If you have an iPad, you're sitting there and it's on, regardless if the screen is off, you're still connected to the internet.
Mm.
Even your phone, even though if you're not here
Right,
on
right.
it, you're still talking to the internet, and so that's actually a space you're killing somebody else that could actually be on it as well. But once you start going to a business environment, it's different. You got like me, you could go up to I think 30 or 55 or 70 per access point,
Mm.
but those are commercial. For home use, is only 15 or 20 or something like that. I know it's around there.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. Not many people know that. That's a little tip for the day.
No, when I was into gaming and stuff, I always just directly connected it to the modem or the router
Since you
just to
bring
have less issues.
since you bring that up, so you prefer being wired over wireless on your connection, on gaming and stuff like that?
Um, no, I prefer wired. Any gamer really will prefer wired. I mean, unless you don't have a choice or whatever, a direct connection is always best, like to the modem or the router or whatever. It's just not gonna be any interference. You don't have to worry about the wired connection or anything. I mean, if you have a really good connection in the house, you'll probably be okay. But if you're playing like serious games and you really rely on connection and you don't want interference, I've always, if I can't, try to direct connect.
I would
And if you
recommend it
have
too.
if you have issues too with like the firewall, and I mean these days I don't think that many people run into those issues, but sometimes if you do, if you can, it might be better just to connect directly to the modem instead of the router or whatever. But some people have the combination of the motor and the router as one, you know. So
Majority of it is that's the way it is today. Like me, I have the Google Fiber, and
mm,
my router actually is my modem. You know, it's
ah,
the router. They don't use nobody uses modems anymore. It's already like outdated. It's pretty much just routers, like cable modems. I don't know why they call it modems still. Modems are like from the past when you use dial up.
yeah.
It's unless you're using still phone jacks. Those are actually called modems. But
I
now it's
found
like
I found the internal electric cooling system that I was talking about.
what is
I've seen it on Amazon. It's called thermoelectric refrigeration cooling. It doesn't seem that popular though. It's just there's not many sales on it. I don't think it's something people really use. It doesn't seem to be like a really efficient thing, but there is a internal thing you can plug into the computer that will cool it.
I gotta check that out.
Hmm.
Never heard of it. I guess
Some
that's
people say
why.
it works good though.
I guess that's
I can
why I'm
send
not.
you a link.
Yeah, send me the
I can
link so I
send
can
you a
check it out.
link. Maybe they can pull it up, or you can pull it up. You want me to send it on Discord or Twitter?
Discord.
Okay, I'll send it right here. But there's not. There's. I see a couple of them, but it doesn't seem to be popular at all though. It's like
Let me see.
such a weird thing. Yeah, I see a couple of them. Ooh, that thing got 1 star.
Where is it? This is
It's
fine.
really cheap too. North Bear thermoelectric refrigeration cooling fan system heat sink cooler. But is this actually an AC?
That looks like a. That looks like a.
Cooling power. Semiconductor coolers are a form of solid state cooling that incorporates both semiconductor technologies and electric assembly. Cold and frost require ambient temperature. Environment can be frost. Frost general ambient temperature below 25 degrees. Damn. It's got to be a reason though as well. It's not why it's not popular. It's probably not really something that's really well used. I probably wouldn't recommend it.
It looks
Air
just like a.
conditioners produce moisture. So I imagine that'd be quite hard to make one that works as intended. That's true. Yeah, moisture is probably like a big no-no inside of a computer,
Yeah, that's part of the reason it's a big no.
and it seems like they're like, well, a lot of them are just Japanese made or something.
Yeah, it looks something like it's like a heat sink. It's like a normal heat sink, but with refrigeration, cooling.
Mm,
Oh, I have one another topic I was gonna bring up. How often do you
okay.
recommend dusting your your components? Your internal.
Damn, dude, that's a great question. I don't do it often enough, but I do have air cans. I have some air cans right now in the house. He said that's why you don't clean your AC. It forms some kind of black mold. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the how often? I don't know how often you should. This computer, I haven't done it so far, but my other computer, I used to do it like I don't know, like maybe once a year or something. I'd unplug everything, take it outside, and take the air can right on the balcony and just dust the whole thing. It's better if you have a couple of cans because if you keep holding down the thing, it's going to get really cold and then it doesn't start to push out as much air. And the other thing too, not to do, just a warning: don't turn the can upside down and spray it because the frost stuff comes out and it can probably bring a lot of moisture inside the computer. You can like frost freeze or frostbite this stuff. You gotta be careful with that. How often do you do? Oh, jeez, I can't talk. Do you do yours?
I do. It depend. I usually recommend like 30 days, 15 to 45 days or weekly, depending on where you live. If you live in a ranch, I do it more frequently. If you live in a city, it's not as frequent. You could do it 30 minutes unless you have a really dusty house and you dust frequently as well. So that varies. It varies on me. Like I haven't dusted really like in about 2 weeks. So I was like, I would do it every time you dust it or how clean, how dirty your house is. It all varies.
Yeah.
But I recommend not. I don't use the can
Oh no, what do
cleaners.
you use?
I use this. Let me go. Oh, I think it's already on there. Let me
Yeah, they even
see.
have a vacuum. Oh, I guess you
There, that's what I
Metro
use.
data vac. You do?
Yeah, that's the one I use. Something like that.
Mm, that's cool. I didn't know they had that.
It's
Can you
electronic.
can you take a regular vacuum and take out the trash?
No. The
Probably not a good
reason you
idea.
can't
You might
use
suck
that.
up. You might suck up something. Actually, it's probably too powerful.
Well, the thing is on that you don't want to cause because vacuuming causes positive and negative charges. So you
That actually
cause
reminds me now of what I was going to talk about.
it brings positive and negative charges onto your
Mhm.
components, so you could actually fry your machine if you use a vacuum. But if you use a duster, you're just blowing it out.
Oh,
Everything's
your
coming
brother
right
said it
out.
blows. Yeah, your brother said it blows.
Yeah, so don't use a data vacuum as vacuum it because you'll cause you charges. You don't want
That's
that. You could
true.
fry.
That's true. That's a good point too. Your brother said too that it blows. Doesn't suck. Yeah, you could potentially do some damage to your computer. Uh, the thing I was going to talk about, man, is I'm glad that now you made me remember. You got to be careful too when you're like opening up your computer, man. You can an electric shock can damage your components. You know, they have all this special. Maybe your brother, or maybe you remember that there's this thing that you can actually buy that takes off the electrostatic discharge from you.
The copper
What
bracelet.
I Yeah, there's like a bracelet. I never bought that, I never used it. What I normally do is like I touch the power supply. That's something a trick that I've always been told. Like if you touch the power supply, rub your hands on it, that it's supposed to like discharge you. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's anti-static, anti-shock, or something like
Yeah,
that.
and if and also like if you have a lot of carpet, maybe go somewhere where there's not carpet and then work on the computer. Um, because I don't. Honestly, I don't think I've ever messed up my computer doing that, but I might have messed up a couple of RAM chips doing that. I'm not sure. Back in the day, I was just being ballsy. Just open up the computer, take it, whatever. Sometimes I would even another thing you shouldn't do. This I used to do this back in the day. I used to sometimes remove parts while the computer was still on.
I do that all the time.
You do it. It's best to shut the computer down.
I'm
But
inside
I
the
used to
computer,
move. I used to remove internal parts like while the computer's on and stuff. So
but I don't do it like physically. Like a lot of my main components, I only do like the small ones, like the easy to
okay.
remove. Like some things like I'm having problems
Yeah.
with the CD-ROM. I'll go and unplug it and plug it back in because
Oh yeah,
CD-ROMs
yeah, yeah,
you could
yeah.
just replace it. A floppy drive
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
That. I wouldn't remove a hard drive. RAM chips. Processors. I wouldn't do that far. But I would do like just a basic internal small components. That's that easy and cheap to replace.
Yeah, he said they have straps you can ground so you can ground yourself, keep yourself grounded. Yeah, yeah. Because the thing with the power supply too, it might not keep you grounded. I
Exactly.
hear it takes the discharge off you, the electric, whatever. But I don't know if it keeps you grounded. You may pick up electricity again. I don't
What
know.
what
But
I was taught in school is you don't really need the bracelet if you don't want to, as long as you touch
Mhm.
the casing or touch something that's metal,
Right.
ground
Yeah, yeah.
yourself and stay
That's what I
holding
was
on to
told.
it and start working on it, so you could
That's
stay
what I was told
grounded.
too. Hmm.
And here's a question, like the biggest question of all. Everybody has. There's a very broad question that all technology people come across with. And I've done a certain thing, and I'm gonna be honest with everybody here. And you tell me if you've done this too. They tell you never run a magnetic screwdriver over your hard drive or any components on your computer. Have you ever heard of that?
I heard that you're not supposed to. I've never done it, but I heard you're not supposed to. I actually had a magnet on my phone by accident the other
I'm
day
gonna
and
give
ran
it
it
to you.
across it, and nothing happened. But so
Yeah,
what happened with you?
I've done it so many times, over a
On
thousand
purpose?
times. Actually, ran magnets and everything over computer components on purpose to see if it
Why?
actually fails,
Oh, okay.
and it has never failed on me.
Really?
I've run magnets on it even while the computer's on. I threw a magnet on it, and nothing's ever happened. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's due to older equipment or what, but I just know I've always done it on purpose just to see what's gonna happen, and nothing's ever happened to me. I've run magnets, run screwdrivers over magnets.
Can magnets mess up your credit cards and stuff? Do you know that? I don't know.
I'm not too sure, but I know that the new type of credit card, the new chips, I don't think they're magnetic. I think they're
Okay.
like copper, like gold
Oh,
plated.
okay.
Man, they're not like a magnet.
You know what though? Thinking about the whole like the static and the grounding and all that, and buying the bracelet, I think the only way, Rusty, what's
First
up?
day.
I think the only way I would buy the bracelet is if I have really expensive equipment. Like if I have that $1,000 freaking video card and I have like all this, I would spend a little bit of money buy that damn bracelet if I need to replace something. It's probably for sure worth it then. You know, I wonder how
Definitely.
much those bracelets cost.
I think they're not that expensive. I think they're cheap.
Let's see, yeah, $18. There's one for $5, $6. It's called ESD grounding or ESD bracelet. Electrostatic discharge is the sudden flow of electricity between two electrically charged objects caused by contact, an electric short, or dielectric breakdown. I don't even know what that is. ESD simulators may be used to test electronic devices, for example, with a human body model or a charged device model. Yeah, that's the ESD. I think that's the only time I would really consider buying one of those is if I had a pretty expensive computer and I had to do some parts.
Yeah.
I'd probably, and it's not really expensive, so it might be kind of something cool to have. I wonder where the one because I see like okay, there's a part that goes around your wrist, and there's another part that looks like a clip. Where does that clip go? Does it
There,
clip onto the computer?
yes, to the casing,
Ah,
so you can stay grounded, so you won't get charged,
ah,
so it could deground you.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
we're gonna have to end the stream here because I gotta take care of some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, I gotta get going too. I gotta get these dishes done. But yo, good talk, man. Good stream.
Thank you for coming
Thanks for
on,
having me on.
Mel, and I hope to see
Yeah,
you next time. So, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, also this guy Iket Mel's channel, and don't forget to like this video. And we will see you guys on the next Tech Talk, guys. So, peace out, guys. Any
peace.
farewells?
No, thanks again. Have a great day, man. Reach out to any of us, subscribe to our channels, and make sure to hit like on the stream.